Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News, coming to you with Bachelorette Recap, a guy's review, week 2. It is Jen's season of The Bachelorette, and we've got all of your recap thoughts. I've got notes for you. I take them, I read them back to you. No edits, no jump cuts, just me and you guys. So let's get into it. Oh boy, listen, before I even get started, can we keep our shirts on? Those of us with dad bods don't want to see what Ranger Rick can do with a pull-up bar. You know what I mean? Go to the bathroom like a real senator. Tap on the door twice. Jen vibing in Melbourne. That's where they go. 18 dudes. Date card. They have a group date. So we get right into Melbourne, Australia. There she is trying the Vegemite. That's one of those things. Not everyone eats peanut butter. That's not from the States, and nobody eats Vegemite if you're not from Australia. I guess it's just, but I'll tell you what, who would you take if you had a jar of Vegemite or a jar of peanut butter and you were stranded in the woods? Which would you rather? I think you got to take the peanut butter, right? USA. All right, going to Australia early is a good idea. It escalates the drama through jet lag. It makes you do stupid things like take your shirt off. I think that's a good idea. They just get out of their norm. They can get out of their bubble and start doing fun things. So they go to a market and Devin pulls Jen away, and then the other dudes get jealous really quick. Welcome to the show, bros. This is how it works. And by the way, why does this look like the start of my favorite porn where, maybe I've just been in ketosis for too long, but the idea of being whisked away to get sweets is really all I can think about. Jen's like, oh, adios mios, some cherry cobbler gelato, please take it down, daddy. So anyway, good luck competing with Devin. You can't compete with a guy who takes Jen to get gelato. Golden first date move. Then they do a roast date, and everyone roasts Devin, of course. He's obviously going to become the target. Everyone's roasting Devin, which again, when you're the target in this sense, it's probably a good thing. It means everybody knows your name. They do a roast. This is what you want. Everyone's talking about you. Jen is thinking about you. They call him a budget Pete Davidson, a dollar store. That's the easiest joke. This is what, no offense, but like non-professional jokes would. Now I thought about it and I was like, what jokes could I make to make fun of him? And to be quite honest, the first 3 I can't say on YouTube. That's all I can say. That's my twisted brain was like, nope, not going to do it. Not going to be somebody's Reddit fodder today. You blew it. You lost out on my good roast jokes. All right. So, yawn, they, kind of contrive. They do this every year. This year, it seems as though no one took the bait about making fun of Jen. In the past, they've, it's one thing when you're one-on-one with somebody and you can like lightly rib them and, hey, I'm going to make fun of, whatever. Oh, cute shirt. Did your grandma give but in this setting, it's a lose-lose if you do that. All right, so they have some alone time, and then Grant gets, all right, so actually, where's Grant? There it is. Grant gets some alone time with Jen, and of course, they have a nice smooch. Jen looks like, I don't know what she's wearing. She looks like she was just playing Sasquatch in a movie and then took the head off. Doesn't she look like a Sasquatch on break? Either way, I mean, love a good Bigfoot. What in the loofah is that thing she's wearing? Good for, was she auditioning to be, the first Bachelorette Wookiee? I can't do the Wookiee sound. Can you guys do it? I'm just going to spit up my cold brew. All right, so he gets that smooch. Then Noah's brother, Aaron, questions Devin by pulling Jen aside. Yikes. Careful what you say. Noah's brother questions if Devin is ready, calls Devin a boy. All right, again, it's a tale as old as time. This measuring contest that goes on where one person tries to out alpha the other. And it's like, look, ain't none of that's going to matter if Jen isn't into you. But it almost feels like from the producer standpoint, both Devin and Noah's brother Aaron know what archetype they're playing. They go, yeah, Devin's the cute, dumb, lovable guy she's interested in. Aaron is the strong guy, kind of like Aaron Clancy from Katie Thurston's season. Who Aaron is the strong guy who's like, no, I can pull more girls than you. Maybe, but maybe not with Jen. Devin says, take the opportunities. Aaron says, shoot your shot. And then Devin says, I am. You just don't like the way I'm shooting, which again, brilliant lines. And then Aaron gets a one-on-one. So, and by one-on-one, I mean a one-on-one moment. So then Devin comes in and offers dessert for him and Jen. Okay, at this point, I'm going, all right, Devin, you're flying too close to the sun, as it were. You're kind of playing in the game, which I'm sure the producers love, but it's going to come off like, okay, you had everyone on your side before, and now, Aaron leaves shoulders down. Then Jen really is crushing on Devin. And meanwhile, Aaron calls Devin a cheese ball, says he doesn't want to make the night about Devin. And it's like, well, whenever you say, I don't want to make the night about someone, you're just making the night about them. Then Jen does a good job of de-escalating. And then Devin comes back in. Jen tells them not to fight. I mean, this is it. This is week 2. This is what you get the first 2, 3, 4 episodes before real connections are made. A bunch of bros trying to score some time at recess here. It's so produced, but Jen says, don't do that in front of me, which, is nice. I'm sure the producers like the awkwardness, but again, Jen interjecting here kind of gives the scene a little bit of flavor. Jen gives out a group date rose, and who gets it but your boy? Where is he? I lost him. Nope, not him. There he is. Grant. So the Wookiee gives the rose to Grant. Very nice. And again, they're a good-looking couple. I'll give him that. He's not playing around. Grant playing it perfectly, not trying to do anything stupid or getting any games. Just a good-looking dude who's kissing a good-looking lady. And isn't that what we watched the show for? All right. Speaking of good-looking dudes, Marcus gets a one-on-one date. Let's fall in love. Love Jen. Well, I hope they can land in love. Paging Rachel Kirkconnell. How did that go? She's still got a bruise on her noggin from the last time they did skydiving. Jen has a cropped cardigan on. Do we have a photo of it? I might not have a photo of Jen's cropped cardigan. Although it was very cute. They should make sure they don't use the same. I said they should make sure they don't use the same company that Rachel Kirkconnell used. Good joke. Marcus was an Army Ranger, bro. Bro's got this. I mean, he's just living the dream, right? But don't you love tandem skydiving? Marcus is strapped, butt to what to another guy, and then Jen's strapped to this guy. And whenever you go skydiving, they always make you do rock star things. They always, I don't know. Either way here, you can never get a pretty smile when it comes to skydiving. The wind is too, they got cheeks flapping around. All good, fun stuff. They did it. She had a little bit of a rough landing, but then he landed okay. So what can you do? What is that a metaphor for how the evening's going to go? Dinner portion, Marcus discusses his deployment in Afghanistan and getting injured. Somehow, I don't know if he got injured by a grenade or if his troops came back to save him. I didn't really follow the story. A couple months were spent in inpatient in the hospital. And hey, folks, Grant, that is a hero. That's a hero who served our country, and good for him. We should be holding him real, of all of the shills and hacks we have in the world of Bachelor, we've got a brave man like Marcus who has a real story to tell. So there they are. She went in for the makeout. Jen supports the troops. Jen supported the troops very well with Marcus. Good on her and good on him. Mind the troops. Don't forget to support the troops while you're down there. By down there, I mean Australia. Oh boy. Here we go. Let's move it on. They do a new group date in the Outback, down under. Very nice. They go to the Outback. Not the steakhouse, the actual Outback. No blooming onions. Okay. They group date. Jen's hanging out with the koalas. A dangerous photo shoot with some sassy Aussies dressed like thunder down under, which I'm sure they don't have the licensing for. They bring the furry spider out for Hakeem. Oh, let's go to the furry spider. Golly. Hakeem probably solidified himself on the 2025 season of Bachelor in Paradise. His bio said, shouldn't have mentioned he's scared of spiders. Yeah, if the show's ever like, are you okay with alligators? Just be like, love alligators. Won't give you a reaction if you place me with alligators, because the second they know your inner fears, they're going to exploit them. Either way, Hakeem did a great job. It was a real bonding moment. The guys were all laughing at him. That's the humility you look for. You look for like honesty and authentic behavior. And you find that in moments where people are like, look, I'm going to show that I'm afraid. I don't think that makes him look bad. I mean, who wouldn't be afraid of a scary spider? That would be the least of all the things they shared. It's like, yeah, you can wrap a snake around my neck, but a spider, there's just something in the genetics there. No, thank you. So Dylan helps Jen with the snake. Did I get a photo of that? There's the spider. I don't know if I got a photo of the snake. There it is. So Dylan helps Jen with the snake, which, by the way, I mean, oh boy, don't take Photoshop to that image. What are we talking about? Aaron says he wants to, okay, so then we go backwards. He gets the one-on-one time, and of course they have a fun evening together. And then we go back to the jabronis, as it were. And Devin and Aaron speak. Aaron says he wants to confront Devin. It's like, here you have Aaron saying, like, yeah, we should talk. And then they go sit down and talk, and he goes, I wanted to confront you about this. And it's like, bro, confront is probably not the best word you should be using right now. So anyway, he says Aaron calls Devin Dylan again for the second time. And he's like, how can you judge my character when you haven't even gotten to know my name? Which is pretty true. And it's like, look, I'm sorry. Aaron's just not in a position to judge another man's game. Whenever you judge another man's game, it's like you're wasting valuable time where you could be doing your game. And Aaron's defense would be, well, he's getting in the way of my game. Okay, well, if he, annoys Jen, let him run his mouth. Let him take his course, right? Someone calls Devin a bully. I think it was Jonathan. Do I have that right? And then Aaron gives Devin a book on self-growth. Which again is ironic. Everyone's covered this already because Aaron's brother, Noah Erb, was given a book on, emotional intelligence or whatever from Bennett. And by the way, Bennett's got a baby now and Noah's engaged to Abigail. So everyone can win in this scenario. Life moves on. So anyway, I think that's Jonathan on the right? He calls Devin a bully, which again, you just can't throw these terms around. It's like when they called Maria a bully. It's like you could say so-and-so's a B word or so-and-so's a douche or whatever you want to call them. But like, you're going to call someone a bully. You have to, like, that's just one of those words in today's day and age where you have to, back it up. What did Devin do to intimidate and relentlessly harass somebody else? It used to be bullying was the relentless pursuit, and now it's like you can be a one-time bully, I guess. We used to just call that an a-hole. I thought bully was someone who consistently 2, 3, 4 times tormented somebody else. If the terms change, that's fine. But either way, I didn't see Devin doing anything bullying whatsoever. So Devin speaks to the crew and says he took the high road to talk with Jen first so that the other guys can have her thereafter. Then Thomas screams and, is it Thomas? I'm sorry, is it Thomas? Is that his name? Thomas or Jonathan? Whatever, who cares? In front of, Thomas screams in front of Jen. Devin says that sets the tone for a bad night. The night is quickly turned around as Jen smooches Sam N very strongly. Do we have a photo of Sam N? Maybe not. That's not Sam N. This does look like Sam N's older brother. So anyway, she smooches Sam N and really smooches him. And I'm not judging. I mean, they had a hot and heavy. And look, Sam N, he got a good smooch and he didn't have to bring gelato into the mix. So good for him. Then John is confronted by Devin. So maybe his name is John. I'll get to know his name when I decide. It's only week 2. John or Michael Thomas, one of those. He looks like, he's cosplaying Steve Jobs right here. He's like, I'd like to introduce the new iPad Rose. It's an iPad just for the Bachelor contestants. For when you're waiting, to smooch somebody and you get interrupted by Devin, put the wonderful music of the iPad Rose on. So anyhow, John is confronted by Devin. It's such a toxic situation, but I also think Devin went too far to try and defend himself. Jesse Palmer comes in out of nowhere to alert them that the party is over, and then they hit the rose ceremony. And of course, in the rose ceremony, we lose out. Let's see, who did we lose out on? Say goodbye to Brian, Marvelous, Marvin, and Jahan. And next week we're gonna have. I guess I think, are they staying in Australia? I'm guessing for another week or two. They'll stay in Australia. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, who do you like? I don't see Devin going all the way. I think he's the cute, fun guy that she's into. Sam N looking good. Grant looking good, and the rest of the guys so far are kind of all in the pack, and we'll have to see who can stand out. But I think Jen's doing a great job. I think she's doing as good of a job as you could do, and I also think on the early episodes, Jen is probably protected by the shenanigans of the men, and as we weed out the men, we'll get to know more about Jen as she also gets to know more about these guys. Those are my thoughts. I'm sticking to them. I'll be on the Rush Hour podcast today. I've got Olympic news, entertainment news. I've even got political news, all bundled into one place, along with more Bachelor content. All of the stories I'm not getting to today here on the YouTube channel, I'll have on the podcast, The Rush Hour with Dave Neal. You can find it in the description of this, or just search Dave Neal wherever you find your podcast. Along with that, my next video coming out in 1 hour after this, chances are it'll be live by the time you watch this, will be an update that Reality Steve has from a TikToker exposing one of the men on this season of Bachelorette. It's a funny one. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you then.